Unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie. Followed that up and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers up in the scoring. Arpit Chaudhry. 12 minutes of the match remaining.
What a strike.
A stunner from Kenny Miller. Rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at Rangers Radio Online.
He's gone into the middle. McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header. And he scores! What a substitution! Running inside. Is he going to let flies in? He scored! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening is the one and only Bridgeman, fighting fit, and Big Ulster. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Doing very well, thank you, everybody. And Bridge, it's good to have you back, mate.
Thanks, pal. And can I say a big good evening to the guys on the panel and a huge good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
On the panel, was there a pun intended there, Bridge?
Well,
How are we doing, Mo Mucker? How are we doing, Mo Mucker?
Doing well, pal, thanks. Doing well. And the other guys on here have been just tremendous. They're still asking me how I'm doing, but getting stronger all the time. Getting stronger all the time, pal.
Brilliant, mate, brilliant. Mrs. Bridge will be sending you to work soon.
Well, she hinted. She said something that you're going to. I don't know whether she meant just going to what, but put mute anyway, for sure.
She's been hinting that for years, but hasn't she?
Oh, yes. Yes.
How are you, Big Ulster?
I'm doing very well, thank you. What's queering me at the minute is who's back on tea duty? Is you back on that now, Bridge, that you're fit?
Yes, I am indeed. I've actually got the implements out now, and the first opportunity I get, I've been given my orders to make the tea, so we'll get that done shortly. She'd been missing my tea.
You better tell her about 11:05 then.
That's exactly what I thought. It'll be a while.
Can I just give a shout out first and foremost to all the people in Corby that I met at the weekend? Had the pleasure of attending a do in Corby, run by the Bears Den for the Sons of the North, and what an absolute fantastic evening. Well, I had a fantastic evening. I can't even speak for everybody else, and the pleasure of Willie Johnston and Colin Steen and all the Bears met in Corby. Brilliant evening, brilliant Saturday night, Sunday morning. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a great night, and thanks for everybody involved who made it such a special evening. Particularly meeting up with Corby Loyal and Corby True Blue. We made one or two drinks was had. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Brilliant night, Bridge, absolutely fantastic.
You're a lucky Davilox. I wish I was there, mate. But that was great.
Did you say Corby? Sorry. I wondered if you said Corby True Blue.
There's a Corby.
The Corby boys. Corby Loyal and Corby True Blue.
Let me just make sure.
That was good then. So you enjoyed yourself, bud?
Corby, I did, mate. I did. I hope I didn't let Rangers Radio down.
I would doubt that.
I've had a couple of PMs staying the opposite, mate.
Give us it. Go on then.
No, I just heard you drank the bar dry. Is that correct?
There was a certain couple of drinks that they ran out of, yes.
One of them being vodka, I take it?
Yes.
Could be.
Yes, one of them being vodka, yes. Yes, your information is correct, Mr. Fox.
I've got my spies everywhere, pal.
Yes. It was a bit of an evening. A pity you didn't make it, mate, because we talked about it before. You'd have thoroughly enjoyed yourself, mate.
I'm too old to travel now, mate. Too old.
But a great night, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope to see them all soon, mate. It was absolutely brilliant. Wasn't so good when I woke up yesterday. The place was covered in snow and I had to get home, but there you go. That's another story. But brilliant night. Anyway, we move on. Obviously, we'll get the build up to the game, but I think we're going to start by talking about some of the positive things that's happening at the club, Bridgeman. We're making bids for players. Jordan Rossiter's back in training. Things are moving in the right direction, eh?
Yeah, I'm hearing that they're quite close. Apparently, the deal's quite close to the deal with Hamilton for Greg Docherty. Personally, everybody knows how I feel about it. I'd rather not go down that road. So, but the deal's quite close, and it's going to turn out like similar to what they've asked for in the first place. Allegedly, they wanted 600,000, and it's going to be something about that, I would imagine. Maybe add-ons and things like that. So I'm not that sure how these deals go, but it's close. Let's put it that way. Apparently, I heard it on the news tonight. They just put a bid in, and within 15 minutes, that bid was knocked back. So it must be quite close.
But they've got I know it's difficult, but they've got the price. If the boy's under contract, they're in the driving seat.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody can complain. They've turned in and said that's the deal. That's what we want. If they've said the figure of 600,000, then Rangers at some point or other must be thinking we're going to have to go to 600,000. But let's try them out at this plus that plus that plus that. See if we can make it up in some other way. And obviously one of the ways would be so much down in an instalments series. Now, whether it be one instalment or 10 instalments, I'm not dead sure. But they'll pay it off somehow or other. But it's that type of agreement that's required. But I think Hamilton, allegedly, we're only hearing what you hear and what you pick up on the forums and things. So based on what I'm hearing, Hamilton have said they want 600,000 for the boy, which is, shall we say, a bit realistic, because I think that's probably what Rangers value him at the end of the day. And they'll probably end up by tomorrow night, I would imagine, the boy will be a Rangers player. Obviously, if they come with any funny stuff, then I think Rangers should just cut their ties and say, right, yeah, bye, cheerio.
You've got to watch you don't. I know your principles with the Scottish clubs, mate. But you've got to watch you don't cut off your nose to spite your face, mate.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm quite happy that the Rangers are in and they're doing whatever dealing they're doing. I'm just meaning that if Hamilton could, let's say Hamilton said we want 600,000 for him, and Rangers eventually get themselves up to 600,000. We don't want any funny nonsense to turn in and say, well, we want 750. Now that you've come up to 600, we think we could squeeze that up to 750 for saying sake, you know. We don't want anything like that.
I think if you're a selling club there, Ulster, you're looking to maybe get a clause, a buy-on clause there. That's a big thing, because if somebody does become a star and he goes for decent money, that's when you can make your money in.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you can't blame Hamilton. You know, that it's probably the only prized asset to have, and especially with him being, fraud. I think they had a case of fraud earlier in the season and they lost near enough about 600,000 or thereabouts. So that's a lot of money for a club like Hamilton to lose. So you can't blame them trying the best to get as much as they can for the player. There's still a wee bit time in the window, so they're just holding out maybe for that extra, maybe 50, 100,000. And as you say, you know, it's not just a matter of the money, it's sell-on clauses and all different things need to be thrashed out. But I think all by rumours is the player's desperate to come. It's, you know, once we get an agreement with Hamilton, I think the player, as I say, would be easy to deal with. But just got to wait and see. But I don't blame Hamilton. They're a
very experienced team when it comes to these issues, because they sold those two boys, the McCarthy and MacArthur. Remember, they sold both of them to Everton. Wigan, sorry. They sold them both to Wigan, who then went on. One went to Everton and the other went down to Crystal Palace.
One got a really bad leg break in the weekend, funny enough, Bridge.
I was going to bring that up there. There was a boy, McCarthy. Is it a double leg break he got? It was, I mean, the guy was beside himself, because it's allegedly just going for the ball and the guy's foot went in front of him, or his leg went in front of him. So
one of these things, Bridge. One of these things.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely.
But the trouble is, it could be a career for the boy.
Well, that's it. It could be the end of his It could be the end of his days, depending. You know, I've been watching him with Everton, and he's fighting his way. He was fighting his way back into the team there, starting to become a kind of a regular first pick. So it's a bit sad because he's just no longer back for injury. So there you go.
Right. So we'll see where that takes us. It could be concluded at any time. I think the biggest hint was the fact that he never played in the Cup. So he's no Cup tied. All right, you maybe get the usual story that he had a wee injury, but that's the usual stuff, because obviously that would affect his price if you can't use him in the Cup this season. Do you fancy him, Ulster, as a player you would like?
Yeah, I think so. He seems to be an exciting prospect. There's something similar to what Bridges said. You know, Hamilton have been the last few seasons anyway. There's been good players that have come out of there, have done very, very well at the highest level in England. And I'd say only by watching him a few times, and then obviously at Ibrox, I thought he was the best player on the pitch, to be honest. I thought he was fantastic at Ibrox. When they defeated us there, unfortunately, that was another game I was at, just my luck. But he was a cracking young player, and I think it's something would definitely help our squad anyway, and that's what we're looking to do. Maybe he wouldn't be a first-team player straight away, but he'd definitely be a great squad player. And as I say, in the future, you never know, he could be a first-team regular.
Just touching up on that, but you're saying about the future and that. I don't know if you've picked up in the last few years that there's rumours going about that Nottingham Forest have told Barry Mackay he's not got a future at the club. Just rumours.
I heard something that just before. Rumours just before I came on there. I had a wee laugh at that myself, to be honest. Just shows you how things can change, doesn't it?
Aye. Funny in football. Funny old game, Bridges, he used to say. He's a wee meeting the tea, isn't he?
Nope. This is Bridges.
I was on mute. Sorry, I was on mute. Well, see the Barry Mackay thing? Mm-hmm. I've heard somehow or other I've picked it up wrong then, because I thought I read was that Barry Mackay's been told, even although he's not a first pick, he's still part of the plans.
Aye, well, it shows
you how wrong you can be.
No, there's just pure speculation, just rumours. What we're saying is how football can change quite quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Bridge, if people want to join us, what's the number?
The number is, let me just fire that back up. For God's sake, what have I done with this time?
You must know it off by heart, but no.
Could do, shouldn't I? You would say, aye, of course he knows it off by hand. Come on, Bruno, where are you doing? Right, 0141 356 1972.
Where else can they join us?
They can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online. If they haven't been on before, they could get a wee change request through to Fox, and Fox will help them out, bring them in, and teach them things, lots of things.
All right. How are you, Fox, anyway?
I'm fine, Ox. Had a quiet weekend. I missed no watching the Rangers. But quiet apart for that, mate.
I think if the game would have been like today or tomorrow and that would have been on,
Aye, we had a sad day on the Racing Loyal as well, mate. Lost a few quid as per normal.
I did witness that.
Aye.
I did witness that before my adventure started.
Was it just you that lost it, Fox, or did all the guys lose it?
No, just me and my poor pal. We get a doing on it all the time. There's only one winner on it, mate, and I'm not mentioning any names.
Oh, Big Broxy.
I said I'm not mentioning any names.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
No, I think he broke even, mate.
Anyway, we've been joined by our first caller of the night. It's Ibrox Loyal. How we doing, Ibrox?
Evening, guys. How you all doing?
How are you doing, bud?
Good to be back on, mate. Good to be back on.
Were you stepping out in the weekend?
The Saturday night, yes, mate. I was doing my work as per usual on the Saturday early morning, afternoon. So, with the youth were playing, considering we were only going to have a game on the Sunday after being called off, which I was rather disappointed by. But we've seen the youths were playing and they did well, and I could cheer us up a wee bit. So.
We've also been joined by Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, gents. Evening, Ox.
Evening, Rudy.
Everybody.
Hi, Rudy. How you doing, bud?
Aye, fine, Bridge.
Hey, Rudy.
Bridge, you're sounding smashing, by the way.
Oh, thanks very much, pal. Thanks very much.
You're back to your Evening, Ulster.
Yep.
Aye. How are you, Rudy? All right?
Aye, I'm good. It sounds like you had a good time out then, Ulster. Were you on the beers?
No comment. Absolutely fantastic evening, mate. Absolutely brilliant night, mate.
That's good. You can't beat a good night out, mate.
It was fantastic. The people were superb. The entertainment was superb. Some of Wally Johnson's told a couple of good stories. Brilliant. Everybody had a thoroughly good time, mate. And then we left there and we went somewhere else, and it carried on into the small hours.
As it does.
Yes. Yes. A good time. Hi, Brooks, you picked up on the result. Rangers 2, Bayern Munich 1, Bridgeman.
That was fantastic result. Fantastic result. Really, I was intrigued by that. Obviously, some of the writing on it says it was a shock result type thing, you know. Well, obviously, my youth perspective, to me, it would be a shock result, but I don't know about a big wide world of youth football whether, in fact, it was a shock result. But I was delighted. What a tremendous result. Well done to them. Well done to every one of them.
You pleased with that result, Ulster?
Definitely. I think, Bayern Munich at any levels is going to be very, very good at a very high level for our boys to go there and actually be losing 1-0 to come back to win the game. Absolutely fantastic. And so much that'll do for their confidence coming back. That's a terrific result. I'm sure all those players will remember that one for a long, long time.
Rudy Bear, was it something that did it stand out to you when you seen that at the weekend?
Absolutely, aye. I mean, as Ulster said, to go 1-0 down against Bayern Munich at any level, they're going to have great players, really good players, but to go 1-0 down and come back away from home 2-1, that just shows you the amount of work it's been done in there with the development squad. That was a cracking result for them. They must have been really pleased with themselves, and so they should be too. That was a great result.
Obviously, our youth correspondent must have watched it because it was on live. So, Give us your report, Ibrox.
Well, I'll tell you, for it being a short result, it very was, mate, because that team played in the Youth Champions League. Obviously, it is like a mini version of the Champions League for the youths. And apparently, the Bayern Munich youths did pretty well in that tournament. And because we had like Ryan Hardy and a few of the other boys like Liam Kelly and that with us, it was a very inexperienced Rangers squad. I'll just give you that quickly. It was McAdams in goals. We had Houston, Shields, Thompson, Bradley, Wilson, Buck, just coming back for a serious leg injury and played really well. I'll let you know about that in a minute. Favourite of Fox's, young Palmer as well. Dallas, Kelly and Serge Atakai, who we've seen quite a bit of over at the Florida Cup. We had 5 substitutes over ways. We had young Gray, Louis Mayo, young Craig Nelson, young Dapo Mabudi, and young Louis Moore, the substitute goalkeeper. We went 1-down after 10 minutes. It was one of Bayern Munich's first attacks. It was unfortunate to go behind, but we didn't let that get us down because we were about the 37th minute. We pulled it back again, and it was a really good goal for young Liam Butt, who, as I say, just came back for a serious leg injury. A lot of good work by Serge Atakai, getting the ball through young Butt, who finished well. So that was 1-1 at half time. Then we came out in the second half, just run about the hour mark. Young Atakai, really fast, really pacey, very tricky. As I say, he's got a very slight touch of foot. Good quick dribbler as well. He got brought down the box and we got a penalty kick. And it was young Stephen Kelly who stepped up with a really good penalty finish that any senior pro would be happy with. So that finished us up at 2-1. But throughout the biggest majority of the game, mate, young Liam Butt, young Atakai, again, outstanding, who he's not my great fan of. He does a lot of good work for the team. But if you look at it another way as well, mate, you know how good German internationals are, no matter what level. That's how Germans can go on and win World Cups every so many years. It's all through their youth systems. and a lot of these Bayern Munich young pros have come all the way through the German youth ranks as well. So I think with the sort of team we had out, we can be pretty proud of what we did. So outstanding for me, mate. You want to put everybody to sleep? Is it that bad? Sorry, guys.
You there, Oscar?
Sounds
He's
promising.
answering the phone, mate.
All right.
Right. But then that's another question.
What do you think of that, mate?
Well, to me, it's there's always been this sort of argument between the fans. Is Auchenhouse really working? And that's another question really to ask everyone. Is this starting to work for us now?
Maybe we've had to go back, to go forward, to get the benefit of Auchenhouse at Ulster.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of even the younger ones. I think they won a tournament last year as well. So it's all looking good for us.
Rudy Baird, great result. Young boys, younger team, I think, than Bayern Munich. With boys, Fox likes the guy Parma. Ibrox likes Atikai. So it'll be interesting to see. I like the boy Aidan Wilson, mate. I think he's got something about him any time I've seen him. So a lot of positives there, mate.
Aye, definitely. It looks like Auchenhouse kind of bearing fruit now, doesn't it? I think we went through a few years there where there wasn't much coming through, but
just too late for us too, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, it's bearing fruit by the looks of things. We've got some cracking young talent there now. I saw the Atakai's wee bit of footwork to get into the box to get the penalty, and it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, wee boy, he looks like he's really going to be one for the future. But as you say, some Aidan Wilson. Any time I've ever seen Aidan Wilson, he's played really well. There's some real crackers there for the future. I think the boy Palmer, as you said there, and I think after going through all the years where there wasn't much coming through for Auchenhouse, it's looking really good now. I think there's a power of work being done in the background with the youth coaches and all that. And fair play to them. They deserve a huge pat in the back. Because they've worked really hard, and the boys themselves in the development squad obviously work hard at their game as well. And to go away and get a result like that, against one of the biggest teams in Europe, they'll have had some cracking young players. The Germans, as Ibrox was saying, they regularly win World Cups, and the reason for that is they have a conveyor belt of brilliant young talent that comes through year on year, and Bayern Munich's a huge part of that. They're a massive club in Germany, so they're a huge part of that. So to go there and come back with a 2-1 result, absolutely brilliant. I think when Rangers set out in this project, there was a lot of grumbling in the media, as you would expect, because it was us that done it. It wasn't the other side of the city. It was, it was Rangers that done it. But no, for me, I think it's been a fantastic project. I hope they do the same thing, in the future. I know some people are of the opinion that we should be playing against Scottish teams and stuff like that. But no, I know for me, I'd much rather see the boys get that kind of experience. I think it will, bode well for the future, not just for them, but for the first team as well.
Here, Rudy. Here, pal.
But can I just say as well, it's like in the corridors of power, as they say, or they like to call it, at the SFA and SPFL. A lot of the things that Ox was mentioning a few months back about our youngsters getting into their Colts, getting into the second division, and by all accounts, that's very possibly going to happen pretty soon.
A lot of coverage about it in the media over the weekend, mate. It could early as maybe next season. It depends what the Bolton League says,
Mm-hmm.
Could be a goer, which. Well, there's a big void between youth football and reserve football now, and that might fill it. Anyway, we've been joined by my mate Travel. Evening, Travel.
Evening, Travel.
Good Sailor,
stop your roaming. Sailor, leave the sea. Hi, Travel. How you doing, bud?
Very good, Bridgeman. That wasn't sung with your usual verve, but I fully understand. It's good to hear you're on the mend, mate.
Thanks very much, pal.
Evening, Uncle Albert.
Are you
Albert?
Bridgeman?
Uncle Albert?
Bridgeman, have you got a fitness test for Wednesday night?
Shall we say, I'm nowhere near ready to play football now. At the moment. I'll not be fit. I'll not be fit.
Are you not going to make it on Wednesday night?
I don't think so, based on the performance today.
Right.
Mrs. Bridge will see you.
I think I'll be.
Remember, that's a great thing. If people can't make the game and for any reason, like Bridge, Boxwood's out there for them, the secondary ticket and there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That is indeed, mate.
I'm going to wait till the last minute, of course, guys. I'm going to
we'll gear him up to the last minute. Oxchair, to be fair, we can't rush him. The physios will be working on him intensely.
I'm hopeful I get there, but I have to be perfectly honest and say, the tenderness round about the tummy area, as you can imagine, is quite considerable. So any wee bit pressing at all could be pretty sore, So we'll see how we go.
Can I just go back to the conversation you're having about our young boys going out and this Colts thing suddenly rearing its head? I think this has been spoke about for a long time, and nobody's bothered to do anything about it. Do you think that they're because we as a club have went out and done something different, and I'm not saying it's been successful, but what it's pretty radical what our development.
How do you judge success, Travel?
So I think for success for us would be players coming through and making it into the first team.
Exactly, it's not about results in that. That's the trouble.
No.
And it depends how it's going to fare to kind of praise the pathway to the first team.
But they can't have people in Scottish football can't be missing some of the young boys that's coming through there. Like we know what we've got. Well, the boy McCrory's looking good. The David Bates has been getting a game, and McCrory for me has probably been the highlight of the most impressive young player in Scottish football at the moment. Can talk about any other ones you want, but he is for me in Scotland the most impressive Scottish player at the moment. For me is the boy Robertson that's playing with Liverpool, but in Scotland I think it's the most exciting part is McCrory. But not only that, Rangers have been gone out and they've been playing against your Ajaxes and they've been playing against Liverpool and all that. And these other clubs in Scotland are now thinking, hold on a minute here, they're doing something a wee bit different, and this might be successful. So I'm not convinced that this Colts discussion has reared its head because they're maybe thinking, hold on, they could maybe be taking a march on us here. Maybe I'm being paranoid about it, but I think it is that they're looking and going, we can't have them doing something different and suddenly gaining ground on us. You see where I'm coming from, Ox?
I get it, mate. I mean, I don't know if the offer was there for any other team in Scotland to get involved. We've chose to do it. It looks as
I don't know. No, I think it's only ever been Rangers and Celtic. I think it's been offered it. Now, I think if you speak to any player, experienced player, players that have recently retired, they'll all probably say the same thing, that the loss of the reserve league has been a massive blow for players coming through. And I think this to have young players playing against older players will probably help their development a lot better than this development league where they're only playing against players of their own age.
I think when you get to a certain level at football, be it 16, 17 and 18, you've then got to step up a level. If you spend 2-3 years just messing about and not getting challenged, mate, your game's not going to develop.
And also, does the experience of Rangers having played through all these smaller clubs and playing at all these smaller grounds, do you think that they've realised that the potential benefit they could get by having the Colts teams, and there will be people will follow them? I'm not saying that I would. Well, that's maybe not true. Maybe if Rangers were playing against a team down in Ayrshire or there was a home game, then you maybe would make the point of just going along and seeing what it's all about. And especially if there was a player or two in there that was getting us excited, you maybe want to go and we probably would boost some crowds along the way. Yeah. Are they then milking the cash cow again?
The blue pound. There is a possibility of that, but let's look just at the football thing. It's worked well for Barcelona and Real Madrid. All right, they've spent fortunes buying players, but they've still produced steady streams, occasionally the rain players. And they play the lower leagues in Spain. I don't know what the standard's like, but it's worked well for them. Big Ulster Bear.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years and years, I think. But it's got pros and cons. I get where travel's coming from as well. You know, do you want your teams going away and playing Ajax and likes of Bayern Munich, or you know, do you want them playing week in, week out against the lowest teams in Scotland? It's something obviously the club will have to look into and see what's best. But it could benefit us. Yeah, they're playing against older players, getting used to Scottish football. I don't know. I still like the idea of playing the bigger teams, to be honest. I think they'll gain more experience and they'll learn more from the game playing the biggest teams in Europe than what they would be down there. Either way, I think we need competitive football at some level. It's, you know, for the youth.
It might be changed with some of the stuff that's come out for FIFA. What's your view, Ibrox Loyal, being an ex-ball boy? What's your view?
I kind of wanted it again. Damn it, this. But it's a thing, mate. I think it would be a good idea. And that's not to say that we can't keep going with us playing Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Leicester, and everything else that we've been playing. And then at the weekends coming back and playing this Colts League. As you just mentioned there, mate, Barcelona and Real Madrid have been doing it for numbers of years. And it is obviously Liga BBVA, this is called. And the only thing with that league, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid could never get promoted, right? They're never going to allow that to happen. So their teams are always going to be staying in that league. There's other teams in that league who are trying to fight for promotion. They get into the BBVA, or which is obviously La Liga, the top league. And it would be good for our Colts to go through the second division, the first division, and then the championship. But you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to them being in the championship, I think it's going to be the same idea with Real Madrid and Barcelona. They will not be able to go above the championship, and they'll have to stay within that circle. But it would be a good idea because let's be honest, it's seasoned professionals throughout the second and first division in the championship. We all know that, we've been through it. And I think it would make them stronger, and it would make them better players as well, still playing against your Bayern Munich, your Barcelonas, your Leicesters, your Chelseas.
So what league are we going to start off in?
League 2. The bottom league.
Right, okay.
Fox, how do you see it? I mean, for me, there's always been this void between the youth, possibly the reserves for dragging people on, and then the first team. And this having 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and I think it's going to end up 11 on the bench. I don't know if that does. You maybe get the first time you get on the bench, it's a great experience. You're with the first team squad. But if you're not getting on the park, what's the point?
I think it's hard to weigh up the two different situations, mate. If we were wanting to improve the players technically, I would stick to playing friendlies against Bayern Munich, etc., mate. But a lot of our young boys need a bit of toughening up, and I suppose Division 3 or the third division would be the place to learn that. The only fear I've got about it, I've said a couple of times that I'm for it, mate. But we've come through the leagues and we know the sort of wild tackles that go in.
Yeah,
what happens if you've got a brilliant young boy, say for instance McCrory, and he's getting kicked up and doing the park every week with professionals that's not really made it to the top where they'd like to be, mate, and they're not going to allow some young boy. We've seen it with Adua, mate. MD that shows as if they're showing a bit of skill will be sorted out, sort of thing. But I think it's we could have some sort of balance between that, mate. Maybe playing in my leagues here in Scotland for the length of the league, but having summer tournaments away, mate, to pick up on the technical side as well, you know. The other thing is, according to what I'm reading, we've got to say we're taking 250 tickets for every game we play, mate. So there's no doubt.
Subsidising them?
Of course we are, mate. I think it's going to work out like $2,500 or $12,500 a season, something in the figures that these clubs will get off us. And is it worth paying it out when you could do trips for a wee bit more to the likes of Bayern Munich, mate, or other teams going to Portugal? And I think the glamour friendlies for the young boys is going to entice a lot more young boys to Ibrox, mate.
Bayern Munich.
It's going to cost us
Bayern
money.
Munich, Brecon City. Bridgeman, you get off that medication. Bayern Munich, Brecon City. What do you fancy, Bridge?
Exactly. Not for me, pal. If we're having to pay money, I don't mind putting a team out and saying, here we are, just like Foxy said, we have to get, as far as I'm concerned, both the teams in Glasgow need to speak to the referees and the SFA and to say, look, we can't afford any of this crap of people coming out and kicking lumps at the teams. But no for me. No for me. If we are going to have to pay and then watch some of our boys getting absolutely leathered week in, week out, nah. I don't mean leathered beat buys. I'm talking about physically assaulted. Nah, no for me, pal. No for me. I wouldn't give them snot if it was me. No.
I think for me, I'm on the side if it comes to that. I'm with Ulster and travel here. I'd much rather see the boys playing against likes of the Barcelonas, Ajax, Chelsea, Bayern Munich. For me, I mean, we came through the league. Some of the tackling that went on in the leagues was an absolute disgrace. So it was, and like Fox was saying there, you could have some young boy doing in the leagues, a really good talent, and he's getting battered about the park week in, week out. Nah, no, for me, I'd much rather they up their technical ability by coming up against quality players like they did at the weekend there against Bayern Munich, And the other thing for me, and I know I was call me Mr. Cynical if you want, but Travel Rog just touched on it for me there. Is this a financial thing for the clubs? Is it a mere today, wait, look, here, there you go, you need to take 250 tickets? I mean, the mere fact that they're stipulating that, if that is the case, if they're stipulating that we've got to take 250 tickets, that they can shove it then for me,
Rudy, there's no doubt, because last year we've told them to go and poke their development league. They went, can't have them going away. They know what we are, and they can't have us going and doing their own thing. They don't want that. Absolutely don't want that. Because I agree with you. What happens if the Rotters decide to do the same thing? That same list are two big pairs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're not in that development league.
And then
the
Forth Valley one going. But I hear Bayern Munich are pulling the shit, and they want to go. They want to go back and play German teams after Saturday.
See, here's the other thing as well. What about that stadium, the setup, the complex of the Bayern Munich had? That's great for our boys just to go there and see that. And we've got the same type of setup, and I know they're building the stand and everything there as well. But this is what we should be aiming for. We shouldn't be aiming for Stirling Albion or East Stirling or Aberdeen. It should be. If we really want to develop as a club, we've got to aim at the top level. Don't try and satisfy the mediocre stuff in Scotland.
Sorry, why are we involved in that?
By the way, it's your coaching.
One thing on one staff. On you go, Fox, then Rudy.
It's your coaching staff that's behind it as well, mate. I think a lot of it came from Craig Mulholland. So I think we need to trust our coaching staff and what they think is best for our boys. And if they think the way to go is to enter a coach team in that league, we'll just have to. It's not what the fans want, mate. It's what the coaches demand out the players and what they see as the best route for them to go forward,
Could we not have a hybrid?
Well, that's what I was saying. If you're playing in that league during the duration of it, but in the summer, take them away, mate, because there's always tournaments going on for young boys all over the world, mate. You see some of the foreign, like say the African teams, mate, I don't think they're ever at home. They're always playing in tournaments somewhere in the world. And that could be arranged. That could be summer tournaments for the clubs that we've played about getting played in some nice weather, technical, skilled side against us in the summer, and we'd get the best of both worlds.
Rudy, what were you coming on me?
No, I was just to say that I can see where Fox is coming from, and he's right. The fans would much rather see the boys playing against the likes of Bayern Munich, week in, week out, coming up against real quality, proper quality, because let's face it, there's no quality in this league. So to see them come up against proper quality for me is really the only way for them, to up their own technical ability, to see how other players work, see how they play, see the training facilities, see what they do on a daily basis. For me, I mean, it's for me they'd learn very little playing in the lower leagues. They just get clubbed round about a park on a weekly basis, and we'd be forking our money for it. No, for me, I wouldn't want to see that. And I understand where Fox is coming. If he's talking about Craig Mulholland and the rest of the guys, with the coaches with the development squad, and obviously they know what's better for the players than I do. You know, that's why they're doing what they're doing, and I'm sitting here talking to you guys. You know what I mean?
Aye.
But for me, it's just not a thing that, you know, I would have little interest in playing against lower league teams. Yeah, I'd look at the score, obviously, but that would be a bit it for me, you know. Nah, no for me, thanks. But as I said, I'm speaking as a supporter of the club, you know.
Yeah.
Ulster, what kind of interest did the teams who over the water get when they played in the Scottish Lower Cup this season? Was there much interest in the media? Over by Linfield got a good tie against Dundee United, which they should have won. I may add, I watched it.
I was watching that game. They should have. It hasn't got that much exposure, to be honest. You know, it's not. I thought it would have been a bit bigger over here than what it was, but it hasn't seemed to have really got anybody that much. But I know there's been a good support from Linfield, but they no matter where they go, they'll always take a decent support. But I think Crusaders have done pretty well as well. They held their own in the tournament, you know, but. No, there's not been massive interest, to be honest.
All right, then. I don't see a different view for Bridge and and Rudy about the tickets. I mean, if Rangers Youth, there's people go and watch all the games, 250. You've been to a lot of them. There's more than 250 people popping along in there, Ibrox.
Of course there is, mate. At times you could easily have a couple of thousand because it was the whole Eastern closure that opened, mate. But as I say, when I went up to Dumbarton for the first round, obviously that Irn-Bru Cup, obviously we played up at Dumbarton, and the weather was absolutely atrocious, mate. But you still had a good couple of hundred fans up there at that as well. Your flags and your scarves and all that at the side of the fences, because you know at Dumbarton's ground, mate, it's only the one big stand that they've got. So the rest of the stadium's opened, and the elements did have a pretty big say on that match, and I think Rangers could have eventually won and won that. But it's a good thing. And even if we do put a Colts team into this second division, mate, don't let that fool you that we're going to be getting ready playing Bayern Munich and all that. We only play Bayern Munich, Leicester, Liverpool and that like twice a month. So the games can still carry on even though we're in this...
Yeah, you can do both.
I don't have a problem, you know, with the Bears wanting to follow the development squad. That's not a problem for me. Of course, they're going to want to go and watch the young players, you know. If I had a bit more time, my Hans, I'd probably be the same. The point I'm making is the stipulation that you've got to take a certain amount. Yeah. I mean, just let them, if the Bears want to go buy a ticket and go and watch the development squad in the lower leagues, fine, let them do that. But don't start telling us how many tickets we need to.
Imagine that'll be the deal for them to approve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'll be the deal. You know.
I'm with Rudy. I'm with Rudy on this. I just don't understand what this stipulation of you need minimum 250 tickets. I don't know how much the tickets are. Let's say that £4. There's £1,000, right? If they're £8, that's £2,000. You know what I mean? So I don't know whether. Sorry, pal. Sorry.
No, we're talking the maths. I mean,
no, I just don't get it. I'm not being funny. So somewhere along the line,
I'll say it again, Bridge. I'll imagine that the rumour will be the speculation of what to make the deal with the Bolton League.
The price of the tickets in the division will be about a tenner, Bridge. I think that's
usually 5 and 10 quid, mate. 5 and 10 quid it is.
But imagine that'll be the deal. That'll be part of the
of course, it's a sweetener, mate, for them. But I mean, we do need wee clubs like that. You never know when a young talent's going to spring up for you, mate. It also gives probably Rangers a chance to look at up and coming boys. And
no qualms about a young. If Rangers are going to get involved in it, Rangers and Celtic get involved in it, that's fine. Let them do it. We've talked about the dangers of the physical, the over physical players you're playing against at times. We understand that, but no. By the way, your Rangers and your Celtic, you've got to guarantee 250 tickets. Sorry, that's just no right. No right. I don't care what MD says. That's no right. You shouldn't be paying to play in a league. You shouldn't be doing it.
I agree with you.
I think in all probability, if they were in the the lower tiers of our league, mate, I think you would get 250 Rangers supporters going to these games, you know, because in the local areas alone, mate, you'll find that there's enough Rangers supporters to sell 250 tickets to, you know. And also it might get us to, when the new stand's completed at Auchenhowie in the changing rooms, mate, we can start playing our games there instead of having to hire out other clubs' grounds to play some of these games on, you know.
That'd be good. That would be good.
Or do you think they'll need to go to Ibrox? I don't know, you know.
No. Auchenhowie would do, providing we've got the pitch, the proper pitch and that. And
they've got the proper pitch.
I'm saying providing we've got the proper pitch and the proper stand, then Auchenhowie's the place. That's what it's there for. That's what we're doing it. That's why the money's been invested in it.
Well, as I say, that I would imagine that'll be the deal they've had to struck, because obviously these small teams they'd be saying, well, wait a minute, we'd have to put stewards on, that'll increase the cost of putting the match, and we need some guarantees, because obviously money's tight at that bottom level, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
No, definitely.
Problem for me is I think you're going to get, well, it might not, but I think the young players could be lambs of the slaughter. You get old pros down in those leagues just kicking lumps out of these young players, in my opinion. Like, we're seeing the same as Adua, and he was doing a bit of skill, bringing something new to the leagues, and the next day he got clattered, and the next day in the paper you get the headline is you'll not be doing any of that crap down here. I think it was actually different words. And that would worry me if you have young 17, 19-year-olds playing in that game, and you get the older pros, as I say, just kicking lumps out of them.
But is that how the reserve league worked? Because you had a mixture, you maybe had all pros, maybe at the end of the career, guys coming back with a spattering and a young boys trying to make them. So you had that difference there. Instead of sending a team out with 11 kids in it to play against series, if you like, senior pros, it's a different game then, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole mixture, didn't you? You had your boys from the sort of young level, 16, 17-year-olds, and then you get the pros coming back from injury, and guys you've just bought in, and you want to get them fit, that kind of thing, you know, get them match fit, and all these things, you know. A whole mixture of people coming in the reserve league. It was a good league to watch. You get good football sometimes, you know, and sometimes you got these tight games, and you did get a bit of physical on it, but then you expected that anyway. But what I'm speaking about is we're talking about our Colts, you know, our youngsters going in against what we see as some real tough guys in the bottom division, you know. Well, here's these Rangers players come, we'll just boot fuck out of them and that's it. Sorry about the language. But, you know what I mean? That's basically what they think. And they've done it to us. They've done. I mean, we bought, remember Sandaza we had in? My God almighty, he only played about 3 games to get his face smashed in. You remember that when we were playing the third division? Yep. You know, that young boy that's just Dean Shields, he get his face cracked in as well. The young boy, what do you call it? What's the name of that team now? We got what do you call him? The bread man.
Brentford.
Brentford. Lewis McLeod. He got bad injury as well for that. So we've had serious injuries, and then you got the Adua incident with Alloa. It's Alloa, wasn't it? Alloa, Livingston, wasn't it too?
Livingston tackle, Ibrox side.
Terrible stuff. Wow. Sorry.
So what do you do then? Do you wrap the kids up in cotton wool and don't let them play?
Goodness sake, no. Goodness, I've just said what I would imagine should be getting said. If we're going to put, and I would imagine Celtic will be the same, if they're going to put a Colts team in the league.
No, I'm interested in Celtic. Must be, just talk about us.
No, but I would imagine there must be representation to the SFA and the referees. They need to give these teams and these games a wee bit more, shall we say, oomph as far as quality of refereeing is concerned. That's all I'm saying. They have to be watched over because you can't afford youngsters to get booted out.
Travel.
Can I just change the route that you're going here with a different question for you? Just up until the tune.
Hang on you go, mate. You carry on.
Right. American football on at the weekend. Sitting watching it. Before the game, somebody goes out and sings the national anthem before the game. Should we be introduced now at Ibrox?
I thought we'd done it anyway.
Before the game. Out there on the pitch.
You ask me personally if I got a problem.
No, I'm asking the whole panel. I'm even asking the lobby. What do we think? Would that be a good thing?
I've no problem with that. Ibrox loyal.
Well, as long as it's the actual national anthem, which one should be one, and it's God Save the Queen, mate. For me,
let me hear Ibrox. How's the second verse go?
No, one second.
Just say it then. Just say the words.
Second verse, same as the first.
Anybody?
Hold on, I'm on Google.
Anybody get the second verse? I'm just asking. Yeah, so you blitzed that idea, Travel Rug.
Right, okay, right. But if they're out there singing it, then everybody knows the second verse, don't they?
I'm asking you. Do you know it?
You would only sing the first verse.
I'm just going through it in my head now.
You don't want to kill these crazy Scots, do you?
A bit of news on that. YouTube pulled us up for playing the Queen at the end, mate.
Did they?
Aye, they did. Copyright infringement, but luckily for Rangers Radio, the people that done the actual recording said it was perfectly okay for us to do it. Isn't that nice?
Happy days.
I'd be up for that day as long as...
There we go, old school blue.
Aye. There's something about enemies.
Well done.
Is it not Rebel Scots the Crush or something?
No, that's it.
Scatter her enemies.
There's more than two verses. Travel Rug, do your homework before you come on with a question, if you don't mind in the future.
All I'm saying is, I couldn't tell you the second verse of the American national anthem, alright, but I did watch it at the weekend.
5 or 6 verses or something.
You're spot on, Rudy Bert. Did they not teach you anything at school?
I'm not asking for the 5 or 6 verses, right? But the first one, the first verse, is enough to get a wee bit of arousing. It's going to be better than Penny Arcade.
Well, I've just got to play that at 10 o'clock. I'll scrub that then.
I tell you what,
and do you know what? We could even make it a wee bit of X Factor or something like that as well. Every game you get somebody different. I mean, the one that was on the second match, it was on the Philadelphia game. It was a guy, a retired Navy officer out there singing the national anthem. We could be doing that.
Travel, you know what it's like.
Pull a couple of punters down the main stand. He's a wee busty it. You know what I'm talking about here.
You've got a naval officer. You could do
every single game. I'm not saying we do it. We just do it for when Hamilton come along or St Johnstone. I mean every game we do it. Name Eston.
Travel. I agree with you 100% because
thanks, Rudy. There's a voice of reason here. Thanks very much, mate.
I agree with you.
Absolute meltdown in this country if we done that. Not only that,
but why?
Can just imagine an old firm game. Okay, come on, you know what's going to happen. You know we're not going to get away with that.
I think it's a brilliant idea, Travel. Once you've taught yourself the full song.
I'm up for it, Travel. I'm with you.
You see, Oxdear, I can't believe you're just whipping out it with trying to find some excuse for not doing it. No, I'm really disappointed in you, Ox. I thought you'd have been right into it.
I'll get a better one than that, Travel, mate. I say me, you, Rudy, and a few other guys. A choir, we'll go and sing God Save the Queen at every single match because it should be the British national anthem.
Absolutely.
We are in Britain, so we play the British national anthem.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great idea.
And see, for all you ones that are making excuses for them saying, but the rest of Scottish football, I don't care. This is in our place. It's in our home. We can do what we want in our home.
There we go.
Oxdear, I'm disappointed. I thought you'd have been the first one right into it.
They always think, mate.
There's them old school. I can't believe you didn't know the second verse of our national anthem. That's what's disappointed me. I'm hurt and feel let down.
I know what it is.
That's maybe I've always looked at it.
Obviously, excuse. No Big Ulster was fine. He knew all the words. He's fine. He's excused, but the rest is zero.
I'd rather we ran out to the Bully Boys personally.
Only because you know the words.
Oh, we can do that the second week if that's more suited to you. I was thinking about me getting maybe Amy McDonald or something out there the first week, and the second week getting somebody out of the Copeland Road, Bridgeman maybe.
Beyonce.
Whatever takes your fancy, I'm no.
Beyonce. Very good. Very good.
I don't think it's a bad idea to travel. Why not?
What about getting an Ulster flag at the top of Ibrox travel?
I firmly believe that we should have flags of all the nations that are employed by the club at that time. All the players, we should have a flag representing them all, and I'm sure Ulster. I'm sure Jimmy Nicholl would be the first person to go and pull that flag up. There's made out there.
I'm glad John Daly's no longer with us.
Thank God for that.
You're not studying these ideas very well, are you?
What about it? Do you not think that would hurt them more than it would hurt us?
No. It'd be better.
Actually, psychologically speaking, Travel's got a good idea there.
Well,
you mentioned would it not hurt our enemies more than it would hurt us?
No,
but
we should only fly 2 flags inside your run.
That's it, the Ulster flag and what's the other one? Is it the St George's Cross, that one?
No, we should fly the Saltire and the Union Jack.
But I think the thing that Travel was mentioning there about all the nations that represent us, that are the players are representative of, I don't think there'd be a problem with that. And I think it would put a lot of our, shall we say, enemies to shame because they won't do it. And that's for sure. They wouldn't do it. Well, they haven't done it up to now, let's put it that way.
Anyway, quickly, we've been joined by Alan63, the voice of reason on Rangers Radio. How are we doing, Al?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Evening, Al.
Hi, Al.
How are you doing, mate? You've got reverses, haven't you?
I have.
Thank you, mate. I knew it. I didn't doubt you for a minute.
You're
going to sing them now.
No, I'm not going to sing it. You said just say the words, didn't I? Oh Lord, our God, arise, scatter our enemies and make them fall.
Scatter our enemies, I knew that one.
Confound their politics, frustrate their knavish tricks. On thee our hopes we fix. God save us all.
Thank you, Al.
The rest.
I'd be quite happy. Lee Wallace there, white gloves on, marching out, holding a Union flag, and somebody giving us a wee bust of the national anthem.
I'm up for that as well, as long as he's not playing.
I never do that for a job, yes. Flag bearer.
Anyway,
I think we should just go one step further and have the Govan Proddy boys in front of the team as they come out the tunnel, you know what I mean? Why don't we just do that?
If you're going to do
Rudy, man. Now you're seeing where I'm coming from, mate. I was just breaking it uneasy. I was just breaking this uneasy, and then we step it up through there, alright?
I knew that we're on the same plane, Travel.
Good to hear, sure, boys. We've got we don't like to go in there and bust things right open. We just like to go in nice and easy, soft touch, bang.
Right, good exactly Bridgeman, they never done 2 verses at school because it was too much for them to take in. Right? Anyway, if you don't mind going on mute, we'll have a tune for Fox.
Oh, here we go.
See what it is. Thanks for that, Fox. Good man had to change his record because of that travel rug.
Keep them on his toes.
We move on, you'll be getting barred, boy. Where was I? We're got quite a few injuries still. It'll be quite difficult to name a team for Wednesday because we've not had a restart for 10 at the weekend there. So
I'll go for it.
You're last. You're in the corner facing the wall. Right, Travel Rock, give your thoughts then.
Wes and nets between the sticks, but however you want to dress it up, Ibrox. Wes and goals.
Thank you.
But Tavernier, because he's not suspended. Russell Martin and Danny Wilson and DJ.
Right.
A midfield of Goss, Holt, Candeas, Murphy.
Right. 4-4.
And Windass.
Somebody ever's typing stop, please. I'll go on mute.
Windass and Morelos. 4-4-1-1. And Cummins to come off the bench.
All right, then. I see that, right. So you've got a 4. Who's sitting deep in the midfield for you?
Holt and Goss, but primarily Holt. I think Goss has got a wee bit more football about him than what Jason has. But two of them kind of sticking steady in the midfield and a wee bit more width coming off of Candeas and Murphy.
No place for one of our best players at Florida, Andy Halliday.
Andy Halliday can be sitting there cooling his heels on the bench, but if need be, we can. I think we've got to be clever with this as well. I think we're now starting to get options, despite the fact we've got quite a lot of injuries. I think we could still bring Andy Halliday in and be another body in midfield if we needed to go 5 in the middle. And I don't think we can be too gung ho with this. And
did they not play a 3-5-2, Bridgeman? Aberdeen.
It's not about Aberdeen, it's about the Rangers.
I'm just asking because you'd be outnumbered in midfield then. Bridge?
Yeah, they've played 3-5-2 against us. And in fact, the last time they ended up playing 5-3-2 against us. I don't know if you remember that.
What did we play the last time when we pumped them?
We played the Diamond. Remember we played the Diamond?
Oh, yeah. So,
did very well against them.
Mm-hmm.
But we're missing the boy McCrory to give that solidity there. It's quite sad for the boy, yeah?
Disappointing now.
It is disappointing. He's been pivotal, especially at centre defence mid row. We've been struggling for a long time to get someone. And then obviously we finally get somebody to play that role and do it pretty successfully. And now he's injured for the next, I think it's 7 games. So it's just typical our luck with that position. It seems to be something that has a bit of a hoodoo, doesn't it, with that centre defence mid?
I think just to step in there, I don't know if you read what Mr. Murty's comments were. I think he was reading for the Foxy playbook. He was saying
Foxy playbook.
Aye, that's. I think Fox has been banging that the boy McCrory's been. We've been maybe milking it a wee bit too much there, and the boy was needing a rest. And Mr. Murty was basically saying that the day that it was getting to a stage where he was going to be thinking about the load, being a young player, that he was going to be left out anyway. But it's now been enforced upon him because of his injury.
All right. Well, we've also been joined by Gary. Evening, Gary.
How are we, guys? All right?
How are we doing,
Hi, Gary.
Thanks.
Too bad, not too bad.
What's on your mind, Rangers-wise, mate?
To be honest, I've enjoyed things tonight. It's been a lot of interesting conversation, especially about the youth thing that we were talking about earlier on.
And obviously you would know the second verse of the national anthem. I know that, Gary.
I did actually.
No, Gary, don't dig a hole now. Don't dig a hole, Gary.
I posted the lyrics in the lobby.
Thank you, Gary.
What I will say though, right, I know a lot of you were saying about, getting kicked off the park and all that, but look at the boy Harry Cochrane at Hearts. He doesn't look at a place.
There you go, Bridgeman. What about that?
No, hold on. We're speaking about two different things.
I know you're talking about the lower leagues.
Whoa. Speaking about two different things. You're speaking about with the Hearts, the young lads going on. He's not the only one that's come on the Hearts. Hearts have brought in 2 15-year-olds this year. But the thing is, that in the Premiership, in the Premier League, there's high quality or top quality referees, and they'll look after these boys to a certain extent. So the chances of the boys getting absolutely drubbed during the game by hammer throwers are nil. Reverse the process. You're talking about good young boys going to play football against hammer throwers in some instances down in the bottom leagues. It's going to happen. We've had it happen to us before where players have got to do it. Two
names for you, Bridge. Ryan Jack and the boy beside Dorrans, Graham Dorrans.
Oh, Graham and what do you call it? Ryan Jack and Graham Dorrans, and there was somebody else, even the boy McCrory. But we know what that was. That could happen to Rangers virtually anywhere, truth be told. But it's just hatred against us. This is all this is. It's that they get away with it. The referees let them get away with it, and they'll get away with it. As simple as that. But I have to isolate that and say that what we're speaking about is a youth team, a potential young Colts team, going into the bottom leagues of this bottom of our leagues and playing league football every week. Chances are they're going to get turned over in a more physical manner. Let's put it that way. We think Ryan Jack should be able to look after himself in our league, and probably 9 times out of 10 he can. But unfortunately, they're going to get doing.
Do you know, Hank Bridge, if they don't experience that kind of thing, they're not going to learn how to be able to deal with it.
Well, okay, I'm not. Obviously, it's not the type of thing we should be, shall we say, arguing about, because arguing isn't really the word I'm looking for.
Discussion.
I'm saying, we as a club, I've been to Ibrox and watched them playing third division teams, and it's nothing short of horrendous. Some of the tackles that they don't connect with, they're sending off tackles because they mean it. They're trying to get the boys, and the boys are just that wee bit too quick for them. And I've watched it, and it's horrifying to see. I mean, young Templeton get kicked off the park nearly every game. That's not to say something, all I'm saying is it's there. Because of who we are, we're putting a youth team in. Chances are we could get a lot of injuries there. That's all I'm saying. Up in the first division, or rather up in the Premier League, Premiership here.
Were you pleased to hear the result against Bayern Munich, Gary?
Oh, aye, absolutely. I think that is a fantastic result.
Great result, and it'd be really interesting if you don't mind going on mute, we'll maybe hear what Billy Kirkwood had to say about the performance before we move on and finish this. Fox, if you don't mind.
Billy, it's a terrific result for your boys this afternoon. Just tell us how proud you are of them.
Delighted for them. We told them before the game the reason we take these games is to give them the experience of playing Bayern Munich. The team talk focused on the fact that it was Bayern Munich and not to be intimidated by that name. It's a game of football, and hopefully we're trying to teach our boys at Rangers that show these teams no respect, and you go and take the game to them, and I thought we did that. I thought we imposed our style on them. I thought the opportunities we created in the first few minutes of the game was excellent. Credit to Bayern, they went ahead with a really good goal, but I thought our lads' reaction to that was absolutely fantastic, and I think over the piece, chances created and the way we defended, I think we deserved to win. And I think, I'm repeating myself here, taking these games and these lads coming over here and playing such a team as Bayern Munich and coming away with a win, hopefully they carry that on to Scottish football and they take that confidence and they develop and learn as human beings, but also more importantly as Rangers players as well, and that will stand them in good stead, that experience.
Is the manner of the victory perhaps the most pleasing thing? Because this Bayern team finished top of their UEFA Youth League group, and you've more than dominated for large spells of the game.
Yeah, I think so. I think credit where credit's due. I think Bayern are a very good team. They're doing exceptionally well in the Champions League, their own league as well. By all accounts, they've got a good standard of player. They can afford to go and buy young players from other teams in Germany at 16-17, so they have got a good production line, but we're hoping that can happen at Rangers as well, and these lads coming to take on these type of players and coming away with a victory, and I've got to say I think thoroughly deserved that, and some really good performances in it. These lads have got to grow in confidence and stature from that, and hopefully take that into the Scottish football, because it's a great learning experience for them. It is a hard shift in terms of the travel and staying overnight in different hotels, but coming out and performing in good facilities like this, good stadiums, and also against good players, then if they don't take that on board, then they're not doing themselves justice.
Is that the big thing now, to try and carry this level of performance on when you play St Johnstone, midweek in the Youth Cup? Yeah,
well, you're always going to get ups and downs with young kids, and they have to learn from the bad experience as well as the good experience, and it's been a very, very good experience this trip, and you're hoping that they go and put that onto the pitch on Thursday and carry it through. But as I said to them after the game, they should never forget how to learn how to win a game of football. They need to have that in abundance, and they've done that today, and hopefully can continue that for the rest of the season.
Thanks for that, Fox. Nope, we're back. Gary, I'll come to you first. So Kurt was delighted, but we move on, and we're talking about the game on Wednesday evening. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do you see us setting up? Do you see any of the youths getting a call, or you think we'll go for some of our newer signings and keep the team pretty stable?
I do. I think we will. I think we will prefer to go with some of the new ones. I mean, for what I've seen, especially the game against Corinthians, I thought we looked really, really good. And I personally think sticking with most of the guys that played in that game, first team wise, I think sticking with most of them and bringing in, the new guys, I think that would be ideal. Because for me, it's a game that we need to win. Do you know what I mean? And we need to win comfortably. I know we've beat them twice already, but I think we need to go in and do that again. We need to put it to them, and just go for it.
And how do you see us lining up then, mate?
It's a tough one. I mean, obviously, I said to you when I was on the other week, just after we signed Cummins, about do we stick with the one up front? Do we go with the two? I'd maybe go with the two with Morelos and Cummins, just to see how it goes. I think playing the two against Aberdeen would be ideal, because they're both strong boys. Do you know what I mean? They're not afraid of putting themselves about. So, for me, the defence, as I said to you the other night, for me the defence is still a bit iffy. I've actually heard rumblings earlier on this evening about David Bates possibly leaving to go down south. I don't know if any of you have heard anything on that.
There was a story on one of the forums that other teams are now interested because he's in the final year of his contract, I believe, and obviously he's free to sign for anybody at the moment. So that's just normal speculation. We'll just need to wait and see if the club give him a new contract, or he chooses to move on. There's nothing we can really do about it.
That's it. I mean, but definitely play all the new boys. I would definitely play all of them. Because we've got to try at the end of the day. We've got to see how they all gel together. The more time they play together, the quicker they'll gel. So,
what's your team, Bridgeman? How are you lining us up?
I actually feel like I'm going to be very similar to Travel Rug. I would go with Wes, Tav, Russell Martin, Danny Wilson, and Declan John. I'd be going for Candace on the right, Holt and Goss, and Murphy on the left. And I would be Windass and Morelos up front. My substitute, off the top of my head, I'd look to take Windass off and bring on Cummings. Or it depends on who's playing best. If Morelos isn't playing very well, could put Cummings on for him. So he could swap any of those two. And certainly from a midfield perspective, I'd be looking to replace Goss or Holt with Halliday. I'd bring Halliday on. That's what I'd say.
Okay, can I just ask you, Rich, why would you not start Cummings?
No, I've said this before. To me, it's between the three, yeah. And I'm looking because it's Aberdeen, and we've got reliability there. We've got Windass and Morelos know each other anyway, so there's no newness coming in there. But certainly, Cummings would definitely be coming on in the second half, providing he's fit, of course. He would definitely be in my thoughts for coming on in the second half, and it would be either the two, depending who's not playing well, and obviously it's up to the managers. He knows them inside out. So that's where I'd go. I would definitely keep the two who have been scoring goals lately, and let them continue doing it. No problem.
What's your team, Fox?
Oh God, I know what I would like, mate, but what do I think it'll be?
Yeah,
I think we'll go 4-2-3-1, which seems to be the set position. I see the usual Taverner. I think it'll be Martin, Wilson and John, mate. I think it'll be Goss and maybe, believe it or not, Halliday. Then I would go, oh God, I don't know, Windass, Cummings and Morelos, mate. If I got that right. What I'd like to see is completely different, right enough.
Did you have Murphy in?
I think I maybe missed him out. I think that was only 10 players I gave you there, mate.
Right, okay.
Probably 12 players you're giving us.
I know in me that's quite possible, But what I'd like to see Scottish Ibrox, I would go Fotheringham in goal, back three of Martin, Bates and Wilson. I would then go 4 across the middle with Taverner, Goss, Holt and John. Windass is attacking midfielder and Cummings and Morelos up front.
I like that.
Anyway, talking about people we like, we've been joined by the Global Ambassador. Evening, Mr. Global Ambassador.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are all yous?
Evening, all.
Evening, all.
All right. The Ayrshire boys are on board tonight. Just a couple of things. Is Big Ulster still there?
Yes, he is, mate. You carry on.
Right. You were speaking in your first section. You said you were speaking about music. Can Ulster explain to me why people get so fervent about playing the Fields of Athenry? But I know there are other words to it, but that was the tune that he's played, wasn't it? Basically, that was the Fields of Athenry on a flute band were playing it. I've always questioned it or queried it. Does anybody have an answer?
Next question.
Right, okay, carry on. Right.
Well, I think it's another song that's been stolen.
Other words. It wasn't the original tune.
The original tune was in place, and then the South stole it and put words to the Fields of Athenry. Is that what we're saying?
Wouldn't be the first time they've stolen a song.
Carry on. Aye. No, I've always wondered. It's curious. People get very fervent about it. It's a good tune on the flip band right now. The Colts teams.
Yes,
I don't see why I don't see why we shouldn't play them in every league that we can possibly play. But I think the Colts and that youth academy thing should be a standalone thing. It's nothing that we need to worry about progressing. Of getting games, whether it's Bayern Munich or it's Brecon City, I don't really care. As long as the kids and the young men are getting what they need playing wise, they're building up. Bayern Munich go about and take on the best young guys to all the other German teams. So it's really money orientated. We're not in a position to have money, so I think a mixture of both, a hybrid of both in regards to playing against your Brecons and your Cowan Beasts and whoever, and intermixing that way, playing against some of these bigger clubs. And Fox is correct as well. Summertime when there's play these African teams, play Chinese teams. I heard Patrick Thistle. I was listening to that Rock Sport this morning. That Archibald guy was on Rock Sport. He was talking about they were in Marbella, Patrick Thistle, I think. And there was a Chinese team there, and they just had a bounce game there. You know what I mean? With the Chinese team, there's nothing organised. Right, you fancy a game. So as much football as possible for the young team. But I think it should stand alone. It should be something that we don't need to worry about. And the first team
the only trouble with the Chinese teams, Alan, is half an hour later you want to play again.
Aye, you're cracking them there. Just I hear you drink vodka.
Yeah, along with other stuff.
Aye, I always thought vodka was a woman's drink, but you know what I mean. So, no, just the young team. I think they should be getting challenged on it at every opportunity. They should be getting challenged, and when they're ready, they progress into the first team.
Do you know the thing about it is? Last words, Alan, and I think we've debated it. I don't think there's a perfect fit for this because every young kid's different, and some guys it's like the carrot and the stick. And it's everybody's development's going to be different, but it's just till we get people a pathway into the first team. That's what it's all about. Big Al, how on you go?
Sorry, I was just going to say, guys. Right, here's an idea. Right, I'll be honest. I don't know quite how they would work it. Right, but you know how you've got the UEFA Youth League, right? At the moment, it's the 32 teams, obviously the big ones that qualify for the Champions League. Why not open that up a bit? And do some sort of qualification just for general youth teams, you know, rather than just the teams, the big teams that qualify for the Champions League. And that will give the younger ones a chance to play at a more competitive level.
Sounds like too much hard work, Gary, but good thoughts.
Principle, Gary, but obviously you've got the schedule to take into account. But as I say, I'll go back to my point. For individual youth players, one size isn't going to fit all, and one guy will get brought on playing with Brecon, and another guy will play with Barcelona. It's different strokes. As Fox rightly says, it's up to the management and the youth coaches to see what suits other people or individual players and what's best for their development, because it's all about getting people into the first team. Big Al, and then Ibrox Slough. How do you see he's lining up Wednesday night, mate?
Wes, Tavernier, Wilson, Bates, John, probably Candias and Murphy on the wings. I would like to see Cummins and Morelos up front. And you're going to have to go with that boy Goss and Holt. I don't like with that team. There's two players in there that we've just brought in. It's a bit of a big game to blood 2 or 3 players, I think. So, but I think that's 3. If you put that. Who's the centre half we got again? The boys,
Martin,
Norwich. But that would be 4. You know what I mean? I'd go with Tav, Wilson, and Bates, and John at the back, and Wedge, because I know that we can trust him to a certain extent. Candias, I think, will be up for that game, and I think he's shown he's come on to a bit of form before the break now, and I think he's shown against the Banky mob. Certainly, he's got a bit of dig about him, and I think we'll need that. Holt, I think, is you can put your heart in Holt. Murphy, and I think Cummins, Morelos as well. I think Cummins will be up for that game. He comes across as he wants to play in the big games, and he looks up for it. So I'd put him in straight away. So I've got a 4. I don't know. Where did he play that Goss? Did he play him? Did he play Diamond? I don't know.
Middle of midfield,
I think, for me. So him and Holt, so they're 4-4-2.
It looks that way, mate, but that's set up high.
Yeah. What was your team like? You going along the same kind of lines, or
no? 4 away, mate.
You have some shadow strikers.
I think in that game on Wednesday, it's important we win the midfield battle, and that will dictate pushes forward. I would play Candias and Murphy myself, but I would think I would want 3 in there. Whether that's your 3 becomes using Windass as a springer to go and help Candias. Morales, and then you tell them to work hard, and then you've got Cummins coming on maybe after 60 minutes to replace one of them if they've give you a real shift, you know. Windass had really rattled the last time Rudy Baird, didn't he?
Aye, didn't have. I think two of his best games this season has been the double header against them.
Aye, they were frightened his pace, mate.
Aye, I mean, they set up at Pittodrie. The game at Ibrox, the 3-0 game, he was brilliant in that game, considering the battering we'd gave him for weeks on end, and he really pumped it out the bag in that game, at the game at Ibrox. But even the game at Pittodrie, the 60, 70 yard run to get himself into the box for the goal was superb. But for me, I think Windass, I would go with, at the back, I'd go with Bates and Wilson. I'd have Russell Martin sitting on the bench. I would go with Tav, DJ, Goss, Holt in the middle of midfield. I'd go with Candace on the right, Jamie Murphy on the left. I'd go with Cummins and Morelos up front. I think it looks like quite a strong bench.
Good man.
I think it's looking like quite a strong bench. You think we've got Andy Halliday, Russell Martin, you've got the boy Burjonas and Josh Windass sitting on the bench. I'd start with a 4-4-2. Just see how we got on for the first 20 minutes, half an hour. Just see where it takes us. Because I think with Cummins and Morelos up front, and then you've got Candace and Jamie Murphy on the wings, I think we could give them a batter for 20 minutes and just see where it takes us. You never know, we could end up maybe 2 goals up in the first 20 minutes, half an hour of the game, you know what I mean? And then the game totally changes then you can think about who you're going to bring on at half time. Are you going to bring anybody on at half time to try to shore it up a wee bit,
I was just thinking, I think with an early goal they'll crumble. If we can strike an early goal, I think they'll crumble.
I think you might have a point there, Gary, and that's the reason why I'm going with the formation that I'm going with, because I think we should come out and just fly out the traps at them for 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes.
That's what we've done the last game, Rudy, and we battered them.
That's exactly
anyway,
it.
This will be interesting. We've been joined by Alan63, who likes a team formation. Alan?
Is that alright? That sounds alright?
He's got his tactics board out and everything.
I'm just going to pop away, boys.
Thank you.
All the best. Thanks.
Right, Big Al.
You take care, Big Al, 69. Take care, gentlemen.
Cheers,
all the
mate.
best. Bye.
Al?
Yes. Fotheringham. Full backs, Tav, John. Centre backs, Wilson, Martin. Sitting in front of them, taking McCrory's place is Goss. We've got Holt left, Halliday centre, Candace right. And up top, Morelos and Cummings. Not always is to have the likes of Murphy and Windass on the bench for a bit of pace if we're needing it.
That's controversial, mate. Name Murphy and Windass, who arguably won the 2 games against Aberdeen, no even starting.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Any thoughts? Any thought? Big Ulster, we've not heard your team, so any thoughts on Al's controversial team?
Controversial, yep. Sure, that's Al. Al likes to put different things up, which is good. Different opinion, that's what it's all about. I think it'll be something similar to Fox's first team, the 4-2-3-1. I think it'll be, you'll have obviously a goalkeeper, the same goalkeeper forward. You'll have Tav, I'll be Declan John on the other side. Wilson will start. Debating him, I don't know whether he put Bates or Russell Martin in defence. I'm not too sure yet. I think that's debatable. Maybe Bates, because he's been in the squad a few times before, so maybe leave Russell Martin out. I'm not too sure. We'll wait and see. Midfield, probably Holt and the new fella Goss. I would go with Candias out wide, Murphy on the other side, and probably play Windass just behind Morales. And I think Cummings, whenever he does come on, I think he'll explode into that game. I think he'll be chomping at the bit. So, yeah, I would definitely bring Cummings on the second half as an impact sub.
Bridge, Al gone without Windass and Murphy. Surprise for you?
Well, I don't know if it's a surprise. There's some folk aren't that 100% keen on Windass. Like yourself, I think that Windass has done enough in the past few games that he's played. He's done enough to win himself a first team start and probably be one of the first names on the sheet, truth be told. So I think Morelos and Windass for me would start. I don't see he's not done anything wrong for me. I think that Cummings we haven't even seen yet. So we're playing against one of the better teams in the league, if not the second best team in the league. Well, certainly our positionally at the moment. But we've already beat them well at Ibrox. Hopefully we can continue that. But we need a bit of continuity player-wise. So we need players in there that can fight in the midfield, because that's where we're going to win the game. We need to win that midfield, and we need players to do that, and we need the guys to put it into the net. And you've got Windass and Morelos.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, is it?
Goss, Holt, and Halliday, Candias right across the centre.
I'm saying that we've got. That's where we've got to win the game. There, that's the breadbasket of the game, isn't it? So we've got to win that. The back will do the defending, and the front will do the scoring, hopefully. And go on, Paul. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Bridget. Do you know, I get your point with Halliday, and I thought he played very well in America, but I see him as a left and a 3 in there, no a left and a 4, if that makes sense. When with two wide other men, I don't see him playing in the sort of role that
he can still be left. Remember, not I put it up in the what do you call it? The lobby.
In the lobby. I get your thing, mate, but what I'm saying.
It makes sense if you see it.
Right. Okay.
Do you know how they can interchange? No. I think that's an excellent team. With it Windass.
I'm just looking now out in the lobby.
I think for Halliday, what we need him to show that he's missed no playing for us. Do you know what I mean? He needs to come right back in and just hit the ground running straight away.
Well, I'd be interested to see if he starts. I mean, what you might be right, mate. I just don't see it, mate. I really don't.
Okay. Look, it's going to be difficult because a lot of the players that we'd hoped would be able to play for us aren't there. Simple as that. They're just not there. They're injured. And we brought the boy Goss in, and everybody has got the impression that the boy Goss is going to be a really good player for us. And they've got him down there as maybe a wee replacement for McCrory at the present moment until such times as McCrory is back. So, yeah, it could work that way. I think he's a better player than McCrory from an attacking perspective. He looks as if he can pass a ball really well. That no taking anything away from anyone. It's just my thoughts, you know. Holt and Candias are just, if they stick to their task, they're going to be the wee ones that do all the work. Mm-hmm. Halliday will be doing a bit of tackling in there, hopefully, to win the ball. We need to watch Halliday doesn't he runs too far back and does too many stupid tackles, because he's prone to do that, as we know. But I'm looking at your team, and I'm fine. Morelos and Cummings up front, I wouldn't have a problem with it. My only thoughts are Morelos and Windass have been very good for us, and they know what they're doing, and people get used to them. But no a problem. To any 2 from 3, that's my 3 attackers from the club's perspective. Is Morelos, Cummings, and Windass, and I hope we keep them. I notice you don't ever.
I'll be interested to see how it pans out, but we're talking about midfield. I'll go to Rudy Bear. Jordan Rossiter back in training. Surprised at that, mate?
I was, and I'm pleased as well, to be honest, because I had high hopes for that boy when he came in. A few times I've seen him, he looks like he covers the ground well, and he doesn't mind a tackle, you know. We could be, he seems to be made of glass though, doesn't he, you know. But I was quite surprised actually. I kind of forgot all about him, obviously, for a while there, until I looked on the website today and saw he was back in training. That's cracking news. But how long is that going to be for? How long is it going to be before he gets injured again? You know, can he stay fit for the rest of the season?
I don't even think he's anywhere near ready for a game. I mean, probably a couple of months.
Anyway, we've also been joined by Blue Shadow. Evening, Blue Shadow.
Hi, Blue.
Evening, boys. How are you doing?
Blue Shadow.
Hey, Blue.
You got your sick pay through yet, Bridge?
Aye.
He's not getting any. He's working on his side.
Don't you listen to him. It's all been signed off, Shadow. It's all been signed off.
That's it. They say 45% of nothing's just as good as 100%
exactly
of nothing, isn't it?
You're spot on there, Blue Shadow. You're spot on.
Here's a handout for you. A good percentage of the profits. There you are.
Here's your thoughts, Blue.
Well, it's sort of looking at what sort of players that are available and everything. I wondered if we might go a system that they're quite used to playing against the shape, which is the 4-4-2 diamond. And with the players we've got, we could almost make it fit, as in going with the back four, that we're used to. That, so Goss taking McCrory's place. Probably have Halliday on the left-hand side of the two that sit just in front of Goss, Holt on the right-hand side, Windass and Cummings and Morelos.
It's different. I like it.
Because you could get Windass, as I said the other night, playing in the hole behind the two strikers. And there's also the option, which I can't even mind who did it, but when the strikers were up front and got the ball, they actually split and went wide, and that just opened up the hole. It pulls the centre-backs out and leaves space in the middle for people to pile through.
Yeah, we did that in America, yeah. Remember when
good shout.
Right.
So it's an option.
3 up front, but it'll be interesting to see what the team is there, Blue.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what he goes. As does see Mr. Murphy has a predilection for 4-5-1. As I've said often before, it's mainly what was played in the USA when we were there. He played it almost without fail the last time he was in as temporary manager before Pedro arrived. So it'll be interesting, and he has done a fair few times, although there has been this 4-4-2 diamond that he has been playing as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with.
It's interesting. And I mean, no Dorrans, no Ryan Jack, no the boy McCrory. Would have been.
Players missing. And by the way, we've not even talked
for the engine room.
You haven't mentioned the boy Docherty. What happened to the boy Docherty signs for us?
He'll not be playing He'll not be playing on Wednesday, but you might be on the bench, but he'll not be playing. No chance. I can't see it.
That's something I was going to touch on there, Ox. See, regardless of who does play in Wednesday.
Lou, can you go and mute me? You're not talking, mate.
That's something I was going to touch on there, Ox. Regardless of who does play on Wednesday against Aberdeen, see, when you think about it, that bench is much, much stronger. It's going to be much stronger than it was before the January transfer window, You could sit the likes of, if you went with Cummins and Morelos up front, you could sit Josh Windass on the bench, You'd have, if you played Bates and Wilson at the back, you'd have Russell Martin sitting on the bench. The boy Burjonis could be sitting on the bench. He's a really good young midfielder. It's going to be a much better bench than it is. So it gives Graham Murty much more scope now, I think, to change things about when he feels the need. If things is not gone right, he can look at the bench. He's got a bit of quality on the bench now, and he can change it up, And that's why I was saying earlier about playing Cummins and Morelos up front and sitting Windass on the bench. I know he's played well against them in the last couple of games. He certainly came into his own in the last few weeks, But I think with his pace, you get half an hour to go and you're looking for a goal to win the game, bring him off the bench. He'd fly at them for the last half hour. They wouldn't be able to deal with his pace, you know what I mean?
You're something, Fox. If Windass doesn't start, is he off? Fox?
No, I don't. I think he wants to stay at Ibrox for the present, mate. What worries me more is I think McInnes will change tactics this time, mate. I think he'll plan to have an extra player, doesn't matter where we've got the ball anywhere in the park. I think he'll come and play a defensive 4-1-4-1. And I think if we've got 3 in the middle, he'll try and flood the midfield, mate, to take the ball off us. I like having the option of having the boy Goss, mate. He's going to have to find direct balls to the wings for me. And that's the way I think we've got a chance of beating them. I think this is going to be a real tough game, mate. If we had all our players fit, I would be very, very confident. But I do think that they're quite well. I watched their game at the weekend, mate. I think as far as I was watching, they played a 4-2-3-1. Christie is very dangerous, mate. We'll need to get him snuffed out the game, and it worries me no having Big McCrory there in the middle of the park, mate. That's my only problems with Wednesday night, mate.
I've got a lot of people missing Big Ulster.
Yeah, we do indeed. But the good thing is we've had a good window, so you know, there's quality obviously injured, but there's a lot of quality coming in as well. So that's the positives. The only thing is, I'm thinking as well, just with everybody's teams, it's just like the asses. Oh, who do you think would be captain on the Wednesday night?
Gary, who's your captain?
Oh, sorry, folks, I was on mute. My captain.
You're learning. You're doing a bridge already.
my captain for Wednesday, I would actually give it to Martin.
Russell Martin. What about you, Al? 63.
Yeah, same. Martin for me.
Ibrox loyal. You've been
Russell
for a while.
Martin. Russell Martin, mate, without a shadow of a doubt.
Rudy Bear.
Danny Wilson, I think he's deserved it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. Yourself, Ulster?
Yeah, I think Wilson as well. Especially being attacked last game at Parkhead. I thought once he took the badge or the armband over, he was instructing Bates the whole way through the game. I thought he'd done pretty well in that role.
Yeah.
Shadow?
I'll go with Danny Wilson if he's playing with Bates. It just seems that he's the leader. He takes over as the leader and he plays as such.
Fox?
Danny Wilson for me as well. I'm not saying it'll stay that way right enough. I think Martin will be pushing for the captaincy if Alves goes, mate, until Lee Wallace reappears, you know.
It looks as if Alves is off, according to the media, Fox.
Well, according to the media, but what did the media ever get right, mate?
That's very true, Did anyone to for and against Alves? Anybody mind? Or would it just be shake hands as long as it's cost neutral to the club, everybody happy? Bridgman?
Yeah, I have to say, can I just say that I think Danny Wilson will be the captain as well.
Sorry,
Bridge. It's all right, no problem. And I think that if Alves doesn't come back to Rangers, it'll be a bonus the way things are. I've been a fan of his, so I think it's with sadness I say it, but really and truly, he's been a disappointment to me and to a lot of other Rangers fans. And no, that's no even counting the players. So if the deal's done, if there is a deal to be done that they can take him away and just cost neutral, as you say, or even Rangers get a wee bit of money out of it, I'd be quite happy with that. Not a problem. Let him go. Just let him go.
Be happy to get the wages. Sorry.
On you go, Blue.
Just be happy to get his wages off the bill, as it were.
That's right, that's right.
Because he's got to be on a significant amount of money, and that just leaves us with those wages free to bring in somebody else.
When Alves came in, I was absolutely delighted. I couldn't believe we'd got a player of that quality. Couldn't believe we'd managed to talk him into coming to Rangers, and I was absolutely delighted. I expected huge things there from this season. But he's absolutely flattered to deceive for me, and if it turns out that he does go in this window, then bringing Russell Martin in, I think we'll get much more out of Russell Martin, to be honest. So I'm not that fussed. I would imagine he's on a fairly substantial wage. There's money that could be freed up for another couple of players, possibly, get the Docherty thing out of the line for me then, if that's the case. If it's a case of wages, then you get the wages freed up that leaves a bit of money to sort of other players out for me. So Ox, I wouldn't be that bothered, to be honest, if it always goes, because I don't think we've got anything near it on what I was expecting to get out of him,
Rudy, can I just say that? Sorry, Paul.
I'm just the same as Bridge, mate. He's been a disappointment to me as well, because Alves, very good player, talent, without a shadow of a doubt, but he's just not done it for us. And if he goes back to Italy or Portugal, wherever he may go, we shake hands, wish him all the best. We get him off, as Rudy just says, we get him off the wage bill, and then that's wages freed up for Docherty, should he come in, or whoever the manager decides to bring in. That's his call at the end of the day. But I'll just say good luck to Alves, and just unfortunate it's not worked out for you to a great club, but things happen.
Bridgman, you come.
I know, I was just going to say that it appears, based on what the guys have been saying as well, it appears that his international appearances and his international career have been far more important than his club career. I think he sold himself short by not appearing at Ibrox for a good number of weeks because of international duty. I think he should have been over here, even then travelling back again for the international. Whatever way get your body over here and let's see what it's like, let the people see and so on and so forth. So I think he disappointed he disappointed me that way. But I was very pleased to see him. I think he was a top-class player and still do think he's a top-class player. His performances for us have not been top-class, nevertheless. So,
no, I think he was a top-class player.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Fox? Then
Look, he certainly hasn't been a flop in the same mould as Pina and Herrera, mate. I think he's done all right. I don't know what Kashina promised him when he came here, mate. Whether he thought it'd be a stroll, we'd get him fit enough to play at a reasonable level for the World Cup coming up. And I think his main priority has always been to look after Bruno Alves and not look after the teammate. That's my only disappointment in him.
Shadow?
I think if he moves back to Italy, I think it'd suit, taking it from Bruno Alves' side, I think it'd suit him better. I think the Scottish game has just never suited him. The pace is a lot higher than he thought it was, and I think if he moves back to
it, mate? Is he underestimated?
I absolutely think he has. I think, and as well with the wing backs, the attacking fullbacks we have, he's getting pulled out of the centre of defence, and that's just, he's totally out of his comfort zone, and it just makes him that, I don't know what he's just not happy. You can quite clearly see that. He's just getting pulled about, he's no used to it, he doesn't like it, and if he goes back to Italy and plays in a style of football that he's used to, it will make him look better, and he's got more chance of getting back to the international scene, which seems particularly important for him because it makes him an international defender and it'll extend his career.
I think his injuries have started catching up with him. He seems to be, calf and with a few injuries. I think it's a gamble. It's not what we thought.
Is it? What's it? If things are no going your way, little niggles and that seem to go on for longer, so you can spend longer back in Portugal, etc., etc. I'm not saying it's true, but it does. The question has gone through my head.
I think one thing it showed up, Blue Shadow, was he didn't get treated at Okinawa. He picked to go back to Portugal to get fixed up, so Rangers staff didn't really know the extent of any injuries he really had. Do you know that?
That must have been in his contract, Fox.
Yep.
Did he have any injuries, or was it just that?
Well, that can be.
He did have injuries, mate, but the thing is, it was in his contract that he was allowed to use the exact same physios and doctors as Cristiano Ronaldo. That was a thing. That was apparently definitely in his contract, because when he was getting treated while it was the last time he was on international trip with Portugal, it was the exact same thing there as well. It was only ever Ronaldo's team that dealt with Alves as well, mate. It was a thing. It was a known thing for not just British football, but world football as well. It wasn't a secret. Let's put it that way. That he wasn't getting treated with medical staff. He was getting treated with somebody else's personal physician. So yeah,
that doesn't all kind of add up to as to how he played crap with us. If you looked online, you saw him doing all these big mad tackles with his studs up at folks' ears and stuff. I thought we were getting that, and we didn't get that. I think what we got was a Billy Big Boss who has saw his best days, and he thought he was coming here for a lap of luxury and easy money, and he's no known that when we play, every team want to come out and get tore into us.
You're here now. Underestimated is Gary?
For me,
Scottish football.
For me, I think we've just got my year too late. See, if we'd got my year earlier, I think things might have been different. I think
when your legs go the football part, yeah.
Exactly. Aye. I think if we'd got my year earlier, we still might not have seen his best days. Do you know what I mean? But I think we'd have certainly got a lot more out of him. But I agree with what you're saying about, I think his problem is that the international scene is more important to him, certainly. But on the other side of that, he should think about, well, if I don't perform at my club, I'm not going to get the international call-up. So, he should maybe think about that as well.
Going in this season, you couldn't take him to a tournament, Bridgeman, could you?
I agree with Ryan's just said quite a good thing, although I wouldn't go so far as a year. I would say an international tournament too much. I think if they hadn't had an international tournament this last season there, very close season, I think he'd have been over to Rangers and went through a pre-season and it'd have been okay. I believe it'd have been okay. And I was pleased he came. I'm pleased we got somebody of that quality. I believe he is top quality, but his head's been just full of international. And as soon as he gets an injury, he runs away back. He's away back to Portugal to see some specialist that looks after someone else, and so on and so forth. So all these things are going to bring you down, in my opinion. So a lot of folk that started to distrust him, and he never showed it. When he came back from these injuries, he never showed it. So unfortunately, Mr. Alves, much as I admired you coming, I was really pleased to get someone of your quality. Unfortunately, you haven't done the business for us. And unless by some miracle you come back to Ibrox and you get the nose down there onto the ground there and get tore right in, things are going to no change for you. You'll be out of the door quickly.
Is there anything in this about old centre back swinging the lead, you reckon, Ox?
Oh, listen.
I'd like to think.
Is that no shocking saying that?
I'd like to think you wouldn't have two in the world doing it at the same time.
Wow.
Guys.
Wow. Well, I would go even further. I'll go even further with that one, Blue Shadow. I'd like to think it wouldn't be all centre backs called Bruno swinging the leg. That's what I would say. I did warn these. Bringing a centre half in called Bruno was a gamble. A gamble.
Shocker. What a dreadful statement to make.
You know,
guys, mind if I just open up something to the panel, if you don't mind?
On you go, Gary.
As long as it's nothing to do with Bruno Alves.
No, it's nothing to do with Bruno Alves, right? So we've covered him.
You've not got any photographs of me the weekend, Gary, have you?
I've got a poster here up on my wall. No, I haven't it really.
Gary, ask for my opinion first.
Ask for your opinion first.
You didn't
Gary,
want to do that.
Come to me and I'll go to Alan last now. Carry on.
Right, so, obviously, we've covered Bruno. We know who we've got out of the club already. What I would like to open up to you is who else you might get rid of before the window closes.
Make it quick, Alan. 63.
Oh, quite a few. Kranjčar, Wilson.
Gone nowhere, Kranjčar. He'll sit till the summer, take his money.
Did you say Wilson there?
Wallace.
Sorry. Oh, right. I thought you said Wilson.
Wallace?
I might have, but I meant Wallace.
Fox, in you come. There's only one that sticks out for me, but in you come.
I don't know. I think we maybe get a surprise transfer, mate. Somebody we're not expecting, but the usual mob, your crankers, etc. I agree with you. Will stay at the end of the season.
Big Ulster. I'll give you a clue. Big Ulster. I can maybe see one leaving. There's a clue for you. Ulster.
If we could make a decision and we could get the people in for it, we'd definitely be getting rid of Bruno Alves, Kranjčar and Herrera.
Right. Rudy Bear?
For me, it would be Herrera, Kranjčar and Lee Hodgson without a shadow of a doubt.
Hodgson, there you go. How many clues did I have to give you? Ulster.
You've stayed it on purpose, I'm sure.
But the only trouble is, if we get rid of him, we travel Rock's new stand, we need to take the Ulster flag down.
I keep him in their squad.
Alright, what about yourself, Bridge? Anybody? And then Ibrox?
I think you mentioned Hodgson. You've already said Alves. He's already gone for me. So I'd have Cardozo, the boy that came with Alves. I'd get to move him on. Herrera, definitely. I think there was one of the youngsters. What's his name? That came across, a Portuguese boy.
Dalcio.
Yeah.
He can go. Some of these guys are going to end up finishing at the end of the season anyway, but I'd certainly look forward to them going for sure. In my opinion, there's some we should keep. I'd like to keep Windass, but it sounds as if the market forces are going to are building up. And by the way, I have to say the Scottish media are doing a wonderful job.
I'm glad you've been brief. Look at the time.
Thank you. That's me finished.
Thank you. Ibrox Loyal, make it very brief because Bridgeman stole your thunder.
Yeah, Herrera and Cardoso for me, mate. Get it going.
Hodgson for me, he's the main one, and then maybe Herrera next. Anyway, we've reached that time of the evening. Shout out time. Al 63.
Shout out's got to go to Mr. Murphy and the usual. Get the team, get the guys gelled and pick out the right team and go out there and give them a doing.
Yep. Ulster?
Yeah, just to shout everybody's been listening, and I welcome to all the new listeners on the Facebook page tonight.
Yep. We'll get some questions for them tomorrow night. Rudy Bear?
Graham Murphy and the team have got a huge game on Wednesday, and this is a huge game, so be under no illusion. Get yourselves ready for that. But also, big shout out to wee Nacho Noble. He's back up on his feet again. Well done, wee man. That's brilliant to see.
Well said, mate. Well said. Ibrox Loyal?
Just big shout out to Mr. Martin and the team. Big game on Wednesday against these sheep. Let's get tore into them.
Yep. Blue Shadow?
Can't wait till Wednesday. It's been far too long for a game for the Rangers. And come on, Mr. Murphy. I don't know what sort of team you're going to put out, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Gary?
Aye, of course. Best of luck to Murphy and the boys. So for me, it's a must-win game, definitely. Also, Bridge, what to say? It's great to hear you sound like you're just about back to full fitness.
He's back. Mate. Trust me, he's back.
Obviously, I've not got a chance to speak to you properly, so now that you're kind of fighting fit, I'll get to know you, I'm sure. But definitely, it's a must-win game, and we need to just get tore into them for the first minute to the last.
You're here, Gary.
Fox?
I'd like to send my apologies to the people of Corby for having to put up with you for the weekend. And,
that's not very nice, is it?
And to everybody listening, thanks.
Bridgeman?
Oh, what can I say? I can echo all the shout-outs. Really nice stuff, Brendan. Good show again tonight.
No Foxes.
Aye, Foxes as well. You have to say it. No, but can I just say, to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, what a station, what a platform, what a bunch of people. Fantastic. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers. We need it. Keep it going.
Can I thank everybody who's took the call, and Guy put a shout out to the people at Corby for their hospitality. I had a brilliant time, and hopefully see you all soon. Take it away, Fox.